Good morning, everyone. It's another great day to be a Hawk. Today is Monday, November 5th. Normal coverage of our Monday Hawk Talks will be preempted. That means postponed until next week so we can bring you special coverage of Harvey Swanson's mock election 2012. What is a mock election? Well, a mock election is an election that our school's going to have that's not a real election. Why? We're not old enough to vote. Well, you're not. I am, and your teachers are. But tomorrow, November 6th, we don't have school. And tomorrow, November 6th, is a very important day in the history of our country because the citizens that can vote in the United States will either choose to re-elect Barack Obama to continue to be the president, or they'll choose to elect Mitt Romney to be the new president. So today, we're going to have a mock election here at Harvey Swanson, and I want to set our mock election up so that tomorrow, when you're at home watching coverage of the election on TV, and I really hope you do watch some coverage of the election on TV, you'll understand what's going on. Because presidential elections are just a little bit different than normal elections. So check this out, and we'll learn about how to elect the president. So here we have our presidential candidates. On this side, you have the Democratic nominees. Our country has two major political parties. We have the Democrats and the Republicans. For the Democrats, their nominee is the person who is already our president. His name is Barack Obama. And his running mate, or the person that is the current vice president, is Joe Biden. So if you choose to vote for Barack Obama or Joe Biden, you're choosing to keep the president the way it is right now. He's called an incumbent. He's already in office. The Republicans over here are sending Mitt Romney to be the president if we choose to vote for him, or Paul Ryan to be the vice president if we choose to vote for the Republican Party. Okay, so today in our mock election, if you choose Barack Obama, you're choosing the Obama-Biden ticket or the team. And if you're choosing the Republican Party, you're choosing Mitt Romney and his running mate, Paul Ryan. They're the Republican ticket. So you have two choices today. Those are the two candidates and their running mates. Today we're going to vote at Harvey Swanson. The first thing here, it says you would think that the candidate with the most votes automatically wins, right? Wrong. The United States uses what's called the Electoral College. So we'll talk more about that in just a second. But it doesn't always mean that you win if you get the most votes in the whole country. I wonder if that's confusing to you, because it was to me before I researched it a little bit, and I want to tell you how it works. And our election is going to work the same way here. So tomorrow night, when you watch the election coverage, you'll see maps that look like this. They have blue states, they'll have red states. The blue states are for the states the Democrats win, and the red states are for the states the Republicans win. And you'll see numbers. So if you look in Michigan, you see the number 17. That's the number of electoral votes that's available in that state. Each state has its own vote. That means each state holds its own election. So Harvey Swanson is going to be its own state as well. We're going to have our own little states inside of our Harvey Swanson country. So each room is going to have their own vote. The winner of that vote gets all of the Electoral College votes. The Electoral College, even though it's called a college, is not a place. It's just a thing. When a candidate wins, the state he just won turns a color, and that candidate gets all of the Electoral College votes in the state. So if you remember this here, if you look at Texas, that number there is 34. There were 34 Electoral College votes available in Texas. That means that whoever wins the election in that state, in just that state, gets every single vote. They get every single one of those 34. It's a winner-take-all system. So today on our map, and we're going to have a map of our school, I'll show you in just a second, blue is going to be for Obama and red will be for Romney. So if your class, by secret vote, chooses that Obama wins, your classroom will turn a blue color. Each of your classes also will get a certain number of electoral votes. You'll get one vote for every 4 students. So that's confusing because every single one of you are going to vote. You're going to go down to a room that I will announce later this morning we're going to have a polling station set up, and you're all going to get your own vote. We're going to total up your class's votes, and the winner of your class is going to get all of your electoral votes. You'll see more about that in just a second. In our country, you can support a candidate by telling others. So many times you'll see signs up in people's yards, or people will really like to discuss and be talking with a lot of feeling about the candidate that they support. But if you look down here, and I want you to remember this for our election today, you don't have to tell anyone who you voted for. If you ask me, I'm not going to tell you who I voted for, because that's my right as an American citizen. You have that right as a citizen of Harvey Swanson and of the United States to either tell who you voted for or to not tell who you voted for. So if you ask someone, who did you vote for? And they say, I'm not going to tell you. That's okay. So we talked earlier about the Electoral College votes. If you look at, let's just take Mrs. Welling for example. Mrs. Welling's class is going to have 7 Electoral College votes. Every single one of her students that are here today will vote their own ballot. But the winner of her class's election for president will earn all 7 of her Electoral College votes. All 7, even if that candidate only wins by 1 vote. The same is true for Mrs. Olson's class. Mrs. Olson's class has 5 Electoral College votes. Every single kid in that class is going to vote. And the winner of her election in that class is going to get all 5 of her Electoral College votes. Okay? It's very confusing. I want you to remember this tomorrow night. When you see states turning either red or blue, you'll remember that just like at Harvey Swanson, those colors mean that the president won, or it means that the presidential candidate won the election in that state, and they get all of the Electoral College votes. Your teachers will tell you when it's time to vote, and teachers, we're going to try to make it such that you're going to come down whenever you can and vote. Stay tuned all day long for special election day coverage. So throughout the day today, I'll come on the announcements and say that we have some more results in, just like you'll see tomorrow night when you watch election day coverage on a real TV channel. And teachers, just as a closing out thing here, there's a Schoolhouse Rock video on the Electoral College. If you think it would be appropriate for your class to watch, it's kind of cute. I'll email you the link, and it'll be in your email. Okay? So this is the map that we're going to be using today for our Electoral College map when the results of your class are in. Remember, every single student in your class is going to vote. I'm going to color your classroom either red if Romney wins your class election, or blue if Barack Obama wins your class election. And the candidate that wins your class election will get all of your Electoral College votes. I hope you have fun today voting. I hope that doing this will help you tomorrow night when you watch election coverage. And most of all, I hope that tomorrow night, ask your mom and dad if they're not already watching it, to turn the TV to election coverage and tell them about what you did at Harvey Swanson, so that the election coverage that you watch can mean even more to you tomorrow. Okay? Stay tuned throughout the day for special Harvey Swanson Elementary coverage of the election. This has been an announcement from the Harvey Swanson Election News Team.